How do? Welcome to the Spider and Old Scooter game. I'm Old Scooter, as you might have immediately figured. Or you might have thought this good-looking fellow down here in the corner was Old Scooter, but I never actually had a dog named Scooter. Skipper. I had lots of Skippers, 3, I think, but no Scooters. I'm Scooter. And this is Spider McGillicuddy, Spider Mac, the artificial intelligence behind this here game, which I just remembered I haven't formatted, so stand by for a little formatting goodies. I take this, put it up in the corner. I grab this corner and stretch it out like that. So we'll be playing that game. I'll have a little commentary about this and that, specifically the Nancy and Chuck and Mitch and Paul and Donald tete-a-tete, and a little commentary on Donald's body language. Love it. Got a good picture. Not a great picture, but sure shows what I'm talking about. And they're evacuating South Florida like crazy. I'll put a terrific suggestion on Governor Rick's plate. But we're here to play Spider Solitaire mainly. I probably won't put the whole game on, but I have been doing it lately. Don't know how that happens. So if you're new to Spider Solitaire, that's what I get for trying to be cute. Too old to be cute. Who ever heard of a cute 80-year-old? Although Attorney General Jeff Sessions, sort of the perfect aging kid face, may be cute when he gets to be 80. I wonder how old Jeff is. Would serve him right. Yep. So, no, do that. Gave away $1. If you're new to the game, welcome. You will be trapped soon. I find it very compelling. Good way to relax, to get your mind off whatever your mind's on. Ooh, see my moth? I actually had a game edition a few nights ago called the Moth Edition, and the moth never came away from the light into the camera. And there was one just now. Hope you saw it. So things are not moving too clippity-cloppity here on the old game. I think that's not promising. The whole business about Trump seemingly siding with the Democratic leadership in coming up with the funding for Harvey, and apparently the funding for Irma is going to be folded in, and a 3-month extension of the debt ceiling, and a continuing motion on funding that. Anyway, he apparently sided with the Democrats on this issue and totally miffed the Republican leadership. And but he thought it was all going to be great. He said this is going to be very, very good. I want to go ahead and put that pronouncement, move ahead a little bit in the game here, seeing what Spider Mac is allowing me to do. And that's what brings up the body language thing. My sweet wife and I noticed watching the news this evening and recalled back to some other instance where Trump hugs himself. It's body language 1A of some sort, except no one seems to be commenting on it. At certain issues, certain times, he hugs himself. I think the last one was when he did the Fire and Brimstone, the Fire and Fury, when he stepped aside from talking about, I don't know, the opioid epidemic or whatever he was on, and he suddenly started talking about North Korea, and he hugged himself while he talked it. Today, I saw him hug himself twice. One was when he was kind of on the defensive and saying this was going to be great, that he bipartisaned with the old Democrats. Democrats is one of the things the people on Breitbart called Democrats. And two totally loathsome persons from the Trump core point of view, Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer. And he was saying this is going to be terrific, this is going to be bipartisan, that's what America wants, and he hugged himself. And then there was a third time, which I happened to get a screen grab of, and I don't know specifically what was happening here. I think it's a new picture, but here he is, hugging himself again. I'm sorry I couldn't, it was a long shot, little bitty picture for my screen grab, so it's all pixelated out. But you can see what he's doing, and watch him. Whenever he's in a certain frame of mind, or when he's feeling defensive, or when he's cold, I don't know, he hugs himself. I thought it was worth pointing that out. You might think it'd be worth it if I just get on with playing the game. So, there are all these moves, like I could do this, right? And then what, this, and have a 5, and the 5 wouldn't go anywhere. I could put a 4 on it. By then I've violated the color barrier 3 times, which is kind of expensive. This is a gambling game. I paid $500 to get in. I have to get $550 to break even. House margin and all. House margined and, not margined. House margin and all. Poor old man. But I don't think I want to do that. I could put this one there and move this 4 over there, which would be not as expensive because this already was a messed up non-stack stack, so I'll do that, and then this, and it was probably the right thing to do. You never know. So the keys could be taken by the mighty eye of Irma and messed up seriously, just like some of those Leeward Islands that I never heard of, Bermuda or some island that I had never heard of. I hated to admit, but I admit these things. That's nothing I want to stick with. And that could happen to Key West and the rest of the Keys, and it could happen, the flooding, storm surge flooding area is all like the whole bottom of Canada, all up to Miami. Florida is just going to take it in the chops, it looks like. But anyway, going out of Miami and north on the giant freeway, it's just this 15-mile-an-hour teeth grinder. What happened? I don't want to do that. And the other lane, there's like a few cars coming this way. I've never understood why on these mass evacuations they don't use all but one of the lanes in a big 6-lane highway or 4-lane highway for the outgoing traffic, and preserve one lane for the traffic that must go in, bringing in your latest package from Amazon or a doctor who is needed there or something. But mainly, why not open up all the lanes? Why not? Scooter wants to know. Game is not going all that well. And on the big deal, the substance of the political story about Trump siding with the Democrats, not totally sure I completely understand why this was good for the Democrats. It seemed to have been good for the country to actually get these things done. But one of the things that was included in that, not only the debt ceiling extension, but to December, by the way, maybe January, but the Republicans wanted 18 months. It's all politics. It's all when does it get done and who gets elected because it did or didn't get done. But chucked aside, the first number I heard was 15.7 billion, then I've heard other numbers, and then now they're going to throw in some money for inevitable Wilma damage. Say they doubled it. Say they got it to $30 billion. Well, it's my firm belief when it comes down to what we actually need for that problem is Houston and environment. Harvey's swath of destruction is going to cost what? Maybe $140 billion? As big or bigger than Katrina? Okay, now then how about Florida? If that sucker comes aboard Florida's lower tip and grinds up through it and does serious damage all the way up one or both coasts, that might be another $130, $140 billion. Well, that's $280 billion. $30 billion that they did today or hope to pass soon is just a smidge on the smudging. A spit in the spittoon. There's just hard to know where a contentious and intra-party and inter-party fighting Congress is going to come up with all that money when most of the Republicans are trying to cut the budget. How can they throw in an extra $140 billion? They're going to take it out of food stamps, that big old $7 billion program. They're going to take it away from the EPA. Well, anyway, I wonder. Don't sing, Scooter. I can't help it. Sometimes a man's got to sing. Well, there's nothing to sing about in this silly game. And I'm not playing it very competently, I'll admit to that. I'll admit, stop the torture. So we are getting a few moves next to last, the penultimate deal. I went for years not being really sure what penultimate meant. That was before I became a compulsive looker-upper. It's not okay, Google. My contention is we all look stuff up way more than is good for us, and to no enormous avail. Maybe settle an argument, salve a decades-long itch of curiosity, of course. But so much time is spent. Oh, the pictures, I do want to show you the pictures. This I threatened the other day to bring up the occasional game cam picture. This nice little buck was up on our hill. He's drinking from our animal drinking thing, water station. There's a little roof that catches water, drains it into a tank, which goes by gravity feed down to a thing with a ball in it to keep the level good. And we have a thing of water for the thirsty animals to stop, and we put up the game camera and shoot thirsty animals. So he's having a drink. I can't tell whether he's an 8-pointer. It looks like to me 2, 2, and 2 and 2 points. But you really can't tell from that picture. I can. And this is our Airedale, Yoko. Yoko. Excuse me. Yoko is unique in the set of her ears. Most Airedale's ears come out like that and hang straight down. Yoko's got these perpetually. Interested. Ear set. And she's a lovely girl. Kind of lazy, but lovely. Wouldn't you know it, that I would say that. See if I can finish the game within the time limit. Probably not. Last card. I'll watch the time carefully. I turned into a pumpkin at exactly 15 minutes. Could I have done that 5 any better? No. This is really an awful, awful game. I've already lost $82, and I have no hope of getting any of it back. That makes it awful. I should finish it if I see any more moves. I know I suppressed my move-seeing power at this stage of the game. Well, it's all over. That's okay. We're out of time. Once again, it's a time to be empathetic and send help if you've got it, a little spare help to send to the upcoming catastrophe of of Florida, and already, Puerto Rico, our holding out there,